Imagine growing up for 13 years without a single word spoken to you. No toys, no hugs, no sunlight, just silence and darkness. This is not fiction. This is the story of Genie, the girl who never had a childhood. What happened to her changed science forever, but at what cost?
Mr. Wiley?
Yes.
Why did you keep your daughter in a room?
Mr. Wiley has no comment.
No comment.
We haven't had time to discuss the charge. We haven't even seen.
Spoon is for.
I. Let's see you jump. Good. Can you jump some more? March. March. Tell me what I'm doing.
Shot and killed himself just before he was to go to court and be arraigned for child abuse.
November 4, 1970. A normal afternoon at the Los Angeles County Department of Social Services. Caseworkers were typing reports, phones were buzzing. No one knew. A little girl was about to walk in and change everything.
I need to talk to someone about this little girl. Something's wrong. Very wrong.
The girl was 13, but looked 6. She couldn't talk, couldn't walk properly. She wore a diaper. She didn't make eye contact. Her name was not yet known, but we would all come to know her as Genie.
She was fragile and beautiful, almost haunting. And so I was pulled. I was very drawn to her, even though I was nervous and had no idea in many respects what to expect.
Within hours, police raided a suburban house in Arcadia, California. What they found inside was not a home. It was a prison.
A cage of silence for a child of light.
Locked in a windowless room, strapped to a potty chair for 12 hours a day. No books, no toys, no sunlight. Her father had declared her mentally retarded and decided she didn't need the world. At Children's Hospital, doctors were stunned. Genie didn't cry, didn't smile, didn't know what a toy was, but her body told a deeper story.
In Genie's brain, the left part of her brain, her cortex, that has those neural systems responsible for speech and language, because she never heard any words and because she was never spoken to very often, they didn't get stimulated. And because they weren't stimulated, they got smaller and less functional and disconnected, and ultimately that part of the brain literally physically changes.
Linguists called her a once-in-a-lifetime case. Could a child learn language this late? Was there truly a critical period for speech? They called it the forbidden experiment because it was never meant to happen.
What do we take away from this really sad story? Look, there's an ethical dilemma in this kind of research. If you want to do rigorous science, then Genie's interests are going to come second some of the time. If you only care about helping Genie, then you wouldn't do a lot of this scientific research. So what are you going to do? To make matters worse, the two roles, scientist and therapist, were combined in one person in her case. So I think future generations are going to study Genie's case as we've been studying Victor's, not only for what it can teach us about human development, but also for what it can teach us about the rewards and the risks of conducting the forbidden experiment.
But nature had done it. For a time, Genie made progress. She learned words like cat and go store, but her sentences were broken. She could name the world, but not describe it. She became a media sensation. Scientists published papers, but in their search for knowledge, they forgot something. In 1975, research funding ended. Genie was returned to her mother, who couldn't care for her. And then, she disappeared from the spotlight. She regressed. She clawed at herself. She screamed. From silence to voice, back to silence again. Today, Genie is still alive, living in a private care home in California, mostly nonverbal, still misunderstood, But what she gave us changed the world. She proved the brain needs connection, that language is more than words, it's identity. But she also proved something else, that science, without compassion, is cruelty. Genie didn't ask for any of this. Not the silence, not the attention, not the abandonment. She was a child who needed love. And in the end, what she taught us wasn't just about language, it was about humanity.